So this is a major bummer. The large nut on the bottom of the master cylinder is leaking through the gasket, just barely, but I've tightened it down as best I can. I'm going to try one more thing. I made a little wrench here. See if I can get that in there and bang on it. But darn. That'll be a drag if I have to take that apart. See how it goes. Yep, I just verified it's leaking. Cleaned it really well, sprayed it with brake cleaner, tightened it up with my wrench, and stepped on the brake pedal, and I saw a drip. So I'm gonna have to suck out the juice, take off the fittings, and see what's going on there. So what do we see here? Definitely looks dirty. Definitely looks dirty. So, we'll clean that up and probably clean up the bottom and put it back together. So looking at the washer, the one side looks good. This side I hit with a Sharpie and then started sanding it with some 600 emery paper, and you can see that it's not very consistent. So I'm going to keep sanding, and I guess I will do the same thing on this side. So I'm not too impressed with Moss Motors in this particular brass, call it a gasket, sealer, crush washer. You can see the high spots and the low spots on both sides. Flip that over. So I will keep sanding. If you look close, you can see a dark spot right there and another one right there on that side. Here, let's see, there's one right there. Let's flip this over 180. Yeah, they don't line up, but those dark spots are 0.5 thousandths thinner. They're just under 47 thousandths, and I started out at about 48. So they're just not quite perfect, and I don't know what's good enough. You know, I suppose you could put some gasket sealer on there, which is not a normal thing to do, but it is an old used car. So I guess next I will see if I can clean up the bottom of the mating surface over here, under there. I can't see it, but we'll just give it a little sanding and then spray it off with some brake cleaner, carb cleaner. So I just measured that one dark spot. So if you go from the outside edge just to the edge of the dark, it's 45 thousandths. And the shiny spot here is 47 thousandths. So that's 2 thousandths of an inch, which doesn't seem like a lot. Half the thickness of a hair, my hair. So I need to sand some more, try to get this thing uniform. All right, I'm measuring 46 thousandths, maybe plus or minus a couple tenths. I need to just check that one spot right there. I don't know. Yeah, let me check that. Okay, that's not good. That flat dark spot's 44, everything else is 46. So my sanding is kind of difficult to get it perfect. Wouldn't it be nice if I had a surface grinder and you could maybe double back tape this thing down and skim it? Again, I could go to gasket sealer, but I think I'll just sand a little more, see how I do. So back together. I made a wrench here on my mill so I could get in there and get that tight. Tapped it tight with a hammer. I mean, if that leaks, I'm not going to be a happy camper. Now, of course, my wife and I have to completely re-bleed the brakes because there's air in the system. You know, I guess some people maybe use a tool and pump from the brake back up. I might have that tool. Let me do some research. Well, that didn't fix it. It's almost pouring out of that bottom nut. So I'm going to pull the master cylinder and take a look at underneath, see what's going on. Darn it. Yep, I pulled the master cylinder. Kind of looking at these surfaces here. And this one was not leaking. And you look at the gasket, it's kind of not, you know, clean like this one, which I did. So all I can do is clean up that surface, these surfaces here, clean that up, and maybe just put a tad of aircraft gasket sealer on there. I think normally you don't do that, but that might be the fix. So I took the inners out, this one, and one of them's in backwards. This one came out like so. This one came out like so. So I need to figure that out. I wonder if that was the whole issue. Interesting. So something's going on with the master cylinder. If you look inside the holes there. Okay. Come over here and look at the parts manuals. A couple of different ones. But here they show, get it to focus, number 24, which is a valve seal. And if we look here on this book, they list it as 11, which is the valve seat, okay? And yet, if you look at the picture, why this doesn't focus, valve seat and a washer, brass washer, rubber, neoprene, something. And I don't have those, so I'm reaching out to a couple guys to see what people know. What I did read on the internet was those two parts are supposed to be used from the old one and just cleaned up and reused. So they didn't come in the rebuild kit that I bought from Datsun Parts, and that was back in November of 25 when I rebuilt these things, so I don't remember what I did, what was missing. Here it is, the tandem brake major deluxe rebuild kit. Of course, it doesn't come with those parts, so I'm at a standstill on that. Nice to have a parts car because the original car had a broken wire on the steering harness. So I just pulled this one off of the parts car and it's in good shape. Also, I was missing the cur clip and the washer and the screw. Unless that screws in here, which I'm not seeing. So, oh, here it is over here, right there. But missing the washer and the cur clip, so glad I found those. And now I know where everything goes together. Got lots of pictures. So I'm not going to put the steering in yet until I get the windshield in. I did empty out the trunk and I pulled off a few items that were loose, haven't been done yet. The rear marker, the bumper guards, got those off. I'm getting ready to tow it in on Thursday to get the windshield in, so I don't want those things flopping around. I did tape up, of course, the trunk. I need to kind of look at the gasket and see why that's not fitting. Yeah, with the alternator off, I did have to remove 2 bolts off of the water pump timing cover. Hopefully those won't loosen up on me. So, can't do the brakes. And waiting on some screws and bolts for the headlights and various parts on the car. What else? Really, it's getting down to electrical, which is not my forte. So that's kind of where I'm at. I did order a soft top. I need to get to Las Cruces. Can't go there for a month. I have a doctor's appointment, and so we'll swing in and get the rest of the vinyl to do the back. So that's kind of where I'm at. I can't put the soft top frame on until I get these side panels on. And I can't do that till I get the vinyl over the wheel wells. Everything has to be done in a logical order. But again, once the steering wheel's in, once I get the throttle cable, and it's not the throttle cable, but the I don't know, whatever you call this thing, I forget. You pull it and it just keeps the high idle while you're warming up. Okay, that and the choke over there, which I don't have. So that's kind of it. I don't know what else to do today. It's about all I can do. Trunk and electrical. I ordered a wire brush to be able to clean out these contacts on these bullet connectors, so I don't want to do those yet. Waiting on that, so I have good continuity in there. Let's take this off. Don't need that on when we're rolling down the road. Don't need the rag in there. I did a little cleaning in here, organized, kinda, doesn't look like it, but I did. Focus, baby, focus, thank you. Nuts and bolts, got them put away up on the shelves up here. Got a little more space. And I also cleaned up back in here. Got this table cleared off. The best it's going to be. I have so much stuff. So much stuff, as you can see, but stuff I don't want to get rid of at this point. So it's organized. I kind of know where everything is until I start getting dementia or Alzheimer's. Then that'll be an issue. Same with all these toolboxes. I got a lot of shit, man. A lot of stuff. After trying different approaches, I had this sitting in the lip here. Tried to put the trunk on. Didn't really work so well. Tried cutting some strips of cardboard to move the gasket. I ended up making these plexiglass spacers to push the gasket up against the edge here. So I just glued down this top edge, and I'm going to let that cure overnight. Then I'll come back and do the sides, and then I'll come back and do the bottom. And I think that's going to work.